friends, welcome back to Sparkle Pixie. Today I'm going to be doing a project that I've actually been planning for a very long time. This is I think it's supposed to be a resin, well, it's a globe, and it has a little space here for like a, what do they call those things? Tealight. A electric tea light with the little battery powered ones or whatever, because you do not want to put flames next to your resin. Even after it's cured, it can heat it up a little bit and make it go soft, and we don't want that to happen. I don't think resin flames very easily, but it can still make a mess. Anyway, so I don't know if you can see inside it, but it has some little bits of translucent bits of resin that I've been using. You know, like when you have a little bit of translucent, a little splotch of resin on your molds left. So I've just been kind of, if it's translucent, picking it off and saving them for my mold. Because what I'm going to do is it's going to be fairly easy pour, but I am going to have to do it in layers because this is too big for the resin that I have. Like, it's too deep and it's a solid globe. Although we'll have these other things. Well, no. Sometimes you can get away with it when you have like other bits of solid things in there that's not resin, but because I'm using, like, I will be using resin pieces, and if I put them all in here, they come up to about here, right? Like, I want them to look like they're floating, and they will basically disappear into the resin. Like, you'll see a circle of purple, but you won't really, it'll look neat. I don't know how to explain it. So basically, again, when I had translucent pigments that were not, I had a little bit left, I'd just pour them in some little cup and let them solidify. And that's a really dark blue. And I think I have enough now that I'll be happy with it, but we shall see. I say that a lot, don't I? So I want the little bits. I'm hoping they will kind of stick to the sides. I'm going to mix up 4 ounces of resin, and then I will be back and we'll start pouring. Okay, while I'm waiting for my resin in the debubbler, I just noticed one of these discs that I had like recycling information, because I had used it in a plastic cup that had like indentations in the bottom, and I don't really want that showing in my candle holder here, or tea light holder. And since I wasn't sure if it would show or not, I figured I'd err on the side of caution and just sand it out. So I used a little bit of my, again, I should have like water here. I shouldn't be using alcohol for this, but because I have alcohol handy and I don't want to create a lot of dust, because I don't want it to get all in my mold and everything, I'm just using a little bit of alcohol as a liquid to keep it from getting sand everywhere. And there's when I put this in resin, submerge it in resin, which is the plan, it will take out all those scuff marks, so it won't be dull or whatever, but we won't see those like we won't see the words and recycling and whatever. It's just a plain purple thing, and I've covered my things because I didn't want to get dust everywhere. And then we wash this off with some alcohol just to get it all nice and clean and get rid of any sand, dust or sludge that might still be on there. And I should probably double check none of the other ones have anything like that. have a little hole in the middle, but I don't think that's gonna matter. Oh, this one has some words on the bottom too. This says what? 10 ounces, 13 PET. And because it's like there's this lip around it, I don't care about the lip, I don't care about those kinds of things. I'm not even sure that they would really show, but I just don't want to take that chance. So I'm just going to quickly scratch them out. Because I know the resin will take away the scratch marks, but I don't know that it will hide the words. Do you know what I mean? There we go. That one is nice and done. And my bubble remover machine is done. Be right back. Okay, I'm back with my resin. I put it through the bubble remover. But it's still got some pretty big bubbles on the top there. Basically because this is going to be clear, I want as many bubbles gone as possible. Okay, there's a few little ones on the top, but the alcohol is taking care of that. So, let's spritz some alcohol in here. And I am going to start pouring and wish me luck. And I hope this turns out the way I envision it. So there are still a lot of little bubbles in there. So I want this to fill maybe halfway. You can hardly see what's going on in there. Such a tiny opening. I can say demolding is going to be fun. Okay, and I'm hoping those little bits will stay on the side. Okay, yeah, there's still a lot of bubbles in there. That's not good. Maybe I'll use my heat gun a little bit. Okay, close your ears because it's gonna get noisy. Don't want to make it too hot because that'll make it cure too fast too. So heat is definitely a use with caution side. So now I want to take some of these and pop them in at, okay, because that one's going there, at various spots around the edge so that they'll be seen, like the middle. Yeah. The middle's okay, like the middle will be seen at the top there, I guess, but yeah, I guess an ankle's okay. And I also really don't want any bubbles on them. I probably should be spritzing them with alcohol before I pop them in there. That might be smart. Is that a bubble or is that just, yeah, it looks okay, I guess. And I don't necessarily want them all in the same way, you know what I mean? I want them to be at all different crazy angles. I'm still seeing lots of bubbles and that's not making me happy, even with the bubble remover. Like, it was pretty clear. There was a few bubbles on the very top, but then the rest was pretty clear. So I don't know why I'm seeing bubbles in there, like micro bubbles. I don't like that. Cooperate with me today, resin, please. I think I want a red one. I'm gonna cover that in alcohol. Okay, there's a lot of alcohol in there now. Okay, now do I want to add more? But I don't like the micro bubbles. I hope they'll come out. I could pop this through the bubble remover. I might do that. I think that's as full as I'm gonna do it. I'm going to pop this through the bubble remover for a few minutes, see if I can get some of those bubbles out, and we will see what we shall see. Okay, it definitely brought the bubbles to the surface, so let's see if I spray in there, if they'll pop. I need to refill that again. Okay, they're popping. So I'm going to give that a few minutes and then I'll check on it again. I'm going to pop it over here, let it do its thing. Okay, so it is time to pour the next layer. When you're doing a pour in layers, you kind of want to pour the next layer before the first one's completely finished curing, because if you wait until it's super cured, sometimes you get like a line, a visible line. So in order to avoid that, you just pour a little bit before it's finished. It's still really soft though, so I'm going to pour carefully. I've mixed up another 4 ounces and put it through the bubble remover, so we should be good to go, and it's nice and clear. It's like clearer than the last one, so, which is good because I wasn't sure what would happen if I put it through the bubble remover again. I'm gonna put pretty much the whole 4 ounces in this time. Last time I made a few other things. Okay. And now we're gonna take these and I'm gonna spritz them with a little alcohol just to help avoid bubbles as I pop them in. And give me my thing. And we will, I don't necessarily, it's really hard to see in there. Let's see, oh, I don't think I have green ones in there, and I only have one red one, so let's pop a red one in on this side. And I keep forgetting to like cover them with isopropyl so that they, can you see what I'm doing up there? I need to see what I'm doing too is the problem. And I'm trying to have them like stick up a little bit so that they don't look like they're in layers, you know? I was gonna spritz a little in there to take care of any bubbles that may be surfacing. There's some bubbles over here on this one. Okay. Can't tell if those are in the bottom layer or not. Get this really deep blue one. Well, let me see. How many do I have left? I was worried there wasn't going to be enough of these, to be honest. I'm going to put some of these weird shaped ones in too. Down there. On this side. Yeah, there we go. Can we put this green one in? Where can we fit this green one? So this big blue one is kind of taking up all the space. I should have put that one in like last or something. That one can go there. Okay. Let's see. What other colors? Okay. Let's put this one in over there. And then take my stick and kind of manipulate it into place. Okay. Have any other bits? I have light blue bit that I will stick hopefully in there. Although I keep putting blue next to blue and green next to green. That's not ideal, but it'll do. That one. Okay. Am I good with that? It looks clear. There's a few bubbles, but it looks like it's hard to tell. They're in the level below or yeah, I think we're as good as we're gonna get. I want to save a few for the next pour as well, so I have only 4 left. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. I think that will be okay. All right, so now it's just a matter of waiting until this level's ready, and then we can pour the next one. All right, so I'll be back when the next stage is ready. Okay, so it is time for the next layer. This time I have mixed up 6 ounces, partly because I just want to get this done, and partly because it's If I have extra, I have extra. I was thinking I was running out of these, so I did also pour myself with the leftover from the last pour. I scraped it out and gave it a little color, and I don't think it's quite done enough to try and get out. No. So if we have one more layer, we'll have one for that. Like, I've got 4 left, so I'm thinking like I'm getting, anyway, I think I'm getting, I might not have enough to finish it how I want it. So I might have, between this and the next layer, I might have to make a few. So I'm just gonna pour this in for a little bit at first. Again, I put it through my bubble remover for 9 minutes so that it's nice and clear. Like, oh, that looks cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put the big one in first, and again, spritz it with some alcohol to avoid bubbles if I can. And like, that one should take up a lot of space. Problem is, I'm not, like, I want it to kind of stay up on the edge, but really, maybe can I kind of force it into the layer below? It might work. No, it just plumped over. But maybe I can stick one of these underneath it too. Prop it up. I prop this up and plonk that there. It's gonna keep it at a bit of an angle. Okay, that works. I mean, 4 might be enough because that one was big, right? Put this one over there. Over there, pull that up. And last but not least, this one can go over there. Okay. How's it looking? So hard to tell because there's just that little tiny hole, and I keep, yeah. See, I don't, okay, that one would be protruding out there if it was that much higher or too much higher. I think that'll do. And I think I'm going to pour the rest of this in. I don't think it'll be enough to completely fill it. We'll see. Scraping all this out, but I don't think it's quite enough to fill it. I'm hoping it's also not too deep. Excuse me. I'm hoping it's not too deep and going to do a flash cure or anything. Scraping is introducing bubbles, so I think that's enough of that. And let's spritz some alcohol in there and see how we do. Okay, I did try and see if these are hard. Yeah, that's hard. Okay, because I knew I needed some more, I did try to make some little ones with UV resin to see if that would work, but I've also, stuck my tool on top of the other tool that was already with resin. All right, I've never tried these. These are little plastic shot glasses that you get like at the dollar store, and sometimes you have to break them to get the resin out. So really, silicone cups are the best, but oh yeah, see, I just broke that. It's not ideal. broke the resin piece itself. I could pull the edges off. It comes out, it just... But if I had a few more of those, maybe I could fill this up and not have to do another layer. Also this one, which came out a weird color. I don't know. Well, and it goes. We shall see what we shall see. Oops, I should have sprayed them with the alcohol too. That one can go over there. This one got a huge bubble in it. I don't think I'm going to use that. Same with this one. There's like a huge bubble. Never had that happen before. And there's a bubble in this one too. Well, that's annoying. Let's see what it looks like if I pull it out. Because I'd like another. Like, I have a lot of blue and purple in there, which is fun. I like blue and purple. I just kind of wanted a bunch of different colors. There are some. There's a couple red and a couple green and stuff, but yeah, be careful if you do that. I mean, can I like poke a hole in there so that it fills with the other resin, or would that just let the... Well, you know what? I'm going to pop it in the bottom and see what happens. And again, be careful if when you're breaking these, because those are sharp little pieces of plastic. I'm going to do the same on this one. There we go. Really paper thin bits off. Yeah, I knew I was going to need a few more, and I didn't want to have to wait until for epoxy to dry, to cure. So I thought I would try a few extra pieces just with UV resin. And like, if not for these bubbles, I'm not sure why they bubbled. It's a mystery. They didn't have the bubbles when I started curing them, and then I pulled them out, and there's like these huge bubbles in them. I'm like, that's weird. I popped bubbles and everything, and that should not be a thing, but yet it is. All right, and that did fill up. I was going to do this one. Yeah, I was going to spritz it with. That did fill up my mold perfectly. And now I'm just gonna, there's some bubbles caught under there. And that one is a bubble in the thing. Hopefully they won't end up floating to the top. All right, I think we're good. I think at this point, all we have to do is wait for that to finish curing, and we will have ourselves a lovely little tea light holder. So I will be back when it's cured and for the demolding. See you soon. I am excited. I'm a little scared to unmold it, but this is definitely one of those molds that needs some spritzing and massaging. Spritz some down there, spritz some down there, and then you just massage all the way down, and it should pop fairly well out. You want to massage all the way to the very bottom, get it all nice and loose. Okay. Now we should be able to do like this. Come on. Okay. Oh. Again, it's gonna take me a little, because can I get it right into the center bit here? Because this is the part here where the Tealight goes is going to be the most problem, because it gets the most suction, right? So alright, I'm gonna have to demold this one off camera. Okay, I'm back, and I had to wait till my husband came home to get him to demold it for me, because there's no way I could get that out of it. That was even hard for him. So it turned out okay. Like, if you look really closely, you can see where the layers are, which I'm not really happy with. And it looks like there's some sort of defect on my mold. It has like a, I don't know, line around there. I wonder if it could be, maybe I just need to do a bit of a, maybe I just need to clean it with a little bit of stuff. Maybe it's not something in the mold, maybe it's just in being handled. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, a quick wipe with alcohol took care of any marks on there. Like I said, you can still, I don't know if you can see it in the video, or in the camera, but you can just barely see the joins in the layers. If it's just sitting on the table and you're not like looking for it, you don't notice it. But I notice it. So even with pouring it while the resin was still, what's the word? So some of those first ones that I put in that I forgot to spritz with isopropyl, they do have little bubbles on the surface of the pieces that I put in. And this one that was kind of a weird color really kind of shows up. And the bottom does need a bit of trimming, which I will do later. Okay, I'm so glad that wiping it down with alcohol took off those marks that were on there. I was worried the mold had a problem. So yeah, there's a few bubbles, and those bubbles, of course, that were in those, there was 3 UV resin little discs that I put in there, that they had bubbles in them, and I knew they would show, and it's like I figured it was on the bottom. It's not a big deal. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm relatively happy with it. Let's see if we can trim up this base a little bit with our deburring tool. Yeah. Yeah, you could also, like, if you wanted a less flat bottom on your orb or whatever, you could fill that in with some resin, but at the same time I'm going like it gives it a sturdy thing to rest on when you put your Tealight in. I only have these little Tealights. It fits in there. It doesn't fit super flat in there, but it fits. You can find nicer ones than these to put in there, because it's actually a little bit too tall. It shows up over here. I'd like a slightly flatter one, but yeah. Overall, I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to take some pictures for you, and I'll see you next Friday. Have a good week, and remember to spread a little sparkle and be kind to yourself and others. Bye.